Fish has always held a special place in human diets, not just because it tastes clean, fresh, and versatile, but because it delivers a kind of nutritional efficiency that few foods can match. When you look at fish as a lean protein source, you're looking at a food that brings high biological value amino acids with almost no burden of saturated fat. These proteins are easily absorbed, support muscle repair after exercise, stabilize blood sugar, encourage satiety, and help the body rebuild tissues from skin to hormones. For people trying to stay lean, reduce inflammation, or support metabolic health, fish sits at the very top of the protein hierarchy. And that isn't only because of its amino acid profile. Many species deliver hard-to-find micronutrients: iodine for thyroid function, selenium for antioxidant protection, vitamin D for immune regulation and bone health, and B vitamins that support energy metabolism. Even without considering omega-3 content, fish stands out as an efficient, low-calorie, high-benefit protein that works for athletes, older adults, weight managers, and anyone who wants nutrient density without heaviness. Culinarily, fish also behaves beautifully. Its delicate structure cooks quickly. Its flavors range from mild and buttery to rich and oceanic, and it pairs well with everything from citrus and herbs to bold chilies and fermented condiments. It can be grilled, steamed, baked, poached, seared, or transformed into raw preparations like sushi, sashimi, poke, ceviche, or carpaccio. These raw forms are cherished globally not just for their taste, but for their freshness, texture, and cultural identity. But here is where enthusiasm meets biology, because raw fish carries a risk that cooked fish largely eliminates: parasites. And this is not fear-mongering. It is an essential reality of marine ecosystems that every raw fish lover needs to understand clearly. The most infamous culprit is the anisakid group of parasites, often called herring worms or simply anisakis. These parasites naturally reside in marine mammals, fish, and crustaceans. When a fish dies or is inadequately inspected, these larvae can migrate from the gut into the muscle tissue, the very part humans eat. If a person consumes the parasite alive, the result can be dramatic: sudden, severe stomach pain, vomiting, intense nausea, and symptoms so sharp they often mimic appendicitis or a stomach ulcer. Some cases require endoscopic removal of the larva. Others trigger powerful allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis, because anisaki's proteins are potent immune system stimulators. What makes this more concerning is that the parasite is not limited to one species. It is found in salmon, mackerel, cod, herring, squid, and many other wild fish. These organisms don't care about culinary traditions, whether it's Japanese sushi, Peruvian ceviche, or European marinated anchovies. The risk is the same if the fish has not been properly frozen or inspected. Yet this is precisely why the solution is so achievable. Parasites are fragile in the face of correct temperature control. Freezing fish at temperatures used in commercial food safety instantly breaks the parasite's life cycle. Most countries require that fish intended for raw consumption be frozen at -20 degrees Celsius -4 degrees Fahrenheit for at least 7 days, or at -35 degrees Celsius -31 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 hours, guidelines created specifically to kill anisaki's larvae. High-end sushi restaurants, reputable seafood distributors, and certified suppliers follow these standards rigorously. But home cooks and small vendors may not, and that's where consumers need stronger awareness. Household freezers, for example, are often not cold enough to guarantee parasite destruction. That means raw preparations made at home using supermarket fish can be risky unless the fish was explicitly labeled and handled as sushi grade or previously frozen for raw consumption. Cooking, on the other hand, eliminates the problem entirely. Heating fish to 63 degrees Celsius (145 degrees Fahrenheit) kills all known parasites, making fully cooked fish one of the safest animal proteins on the planet. It's also important for raw fish fans to understand species differences. Salmon is particularly prone to anisakis because many wild salmon share ecosystems with marine mammals that host parasite eggs. Cod, herring, and mackerel also have well-documented rates of parasitic contamination. Tuna, interestingly, carries a much lower risk because big predators tend to be infected with different types of pathogens, and many large tuna species are frozen at ultra-low temperatures directly on boats. But lower risk is not no risk, and a consumer should never assume raw fish is safe unless handled through certified channels. Despite all of these warnings, the overarching picture remains extremely positive. When properly sourced and prepared, fish offers lean protein that supports muscle health, metabolic stability, immune balance, and long-term wellness. It gives the body nutrients that are increasingly scarce in modern diets, and it does so with a lightness and digestibility that red meat simply cannot match. Raw preparations, when handled correctly, can be enjoyed safely. They offer a culinary experience that is delicate, refreshing, and culturally meaningful. The key is not to avoid raw fish, but to respect the biological risks and choose wisely. The most responsible approach blends appreciation with caution. Enjoy cooked fish freely and often, because its nutritional profile makes it one of the most efficient proteins available. When you want sushi, sashimi, or ceviche, choose reputable restaurants, trusted suppliers, and fish that has been frozen according to food safety standards. If preparing raw fish at home, ensure it is explicitly sold as frozen for sushi quality from a vendor that knows its supply chain, and avoid using raw wild-caught fish that has not gone through parasite-killing protocols. Being informed doesn't remove any of the pleasure. It simply protects you from the kind of gastrointestinal catastrophe or allergic reaction that no culinary experience is worth. With this balance, enthusiastic appreciation of fish's lean protein power, and a clear understanding of how parasites behave, you get the best of both worlds: a nutrient-rich food that nourishes muscles, supports metabolic health, and satisfies the palate, while avoiding the hidden biological hazards that undercook and raw preparation can sometimes carry.